Did I leave the stove on?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of planet Earth, welcome back to this very special episode of the Opie-Verse. What makes it special? Well, it's the last one. So, yeah, let's talk about that. I'm going to take a couple of minutes of your time. That's all we're doing tonight. And I'll tell you why. First and foremost, though, I need to say thank you to you all. Those of you watching now, those who've watched in the past, hit the comments up, contributed through other channels. The guests, of course, it's been a hell of a what now, like a year and 3-4 months, like unbelievable time. Absolutely loved it. And that's kind of part and parcel of why this is the end. But let me explain. There are two kind of key reasons as to why this is the end. The first being, and a lot of you kind of know this, is I started a new job back in July. That job has been somewhat more taxing on my time, my energy. And with that, I have found myself spread somewhat thin when in my content creation, whether it's here, Instagram, TikTok, predominantly TikTok, and kind of everything is just very diluted at the minute. And that is not sustainable. Now, anybody who actually watches this will know that probably since about that time, these episodes have been few and far between. And that's not because of a lack of guests. It's not because of a lack of me knowing who I want to get on. It's just that energy and that oomph to go out and get that done. So it's absolutely on me. And it's not fair for me to continue to ask you guys to be a part of this with me when you don't even know if it's going to be on. So that's kind of part of it. The other side is this year in particular has seen a kind of a blow up in the amount of podcasts that are out there, if that's what we call this, because a podcast is traditionally audio only, but I think we call these things podcasts anyway. I'm talking right now. But there is a blow up of these, and I do think attention span is kind of spread thin. Everybody's kind of stealing viewers off each other. And ultimately with this is what other people are doing that I'm somewhat envious of is they have a kind of a collective group and they talk and they're so much more natural, whereas I'm constantly kind of interviewing the person for the first time, kind of asking similar questions but getting different responses, and I love that, but it takes a lot of energy. And that is essentially what's pushing me away. So you guys are finding new things to watch, and the short form content continues to blow up and kind of drag away from long form content. So it's that thing where ultimately what I would want this to be, it kind of can't be that anymore. So I feel like the right thing to do is to just bring it to a somewhat unclimactic end, and that's realistically where we are. But what does that mean going forward? I love doing this. I love being part of other streams, podcasts, whatever you call them, and I will absolutely continue to want to be part of them, 100%. So if you know anybody that is looking for guests, always please let them know that Opie-One is available. I have got a couple lined up and looking forward to being part of them. But then secondly, I would like to kind of reset and do this a bit different. The one thing I always wanted to do with the Opie-Verse is to do it in person. The more I looked into it, the more difficult and more expensive it kind of would become to do it right, because I would have to do it right. Therefore, again, I don't want to do anything kind of half-arsed, and that's what it would be. So I've let it go. However, I would like to start something new. On a kind of a shared partnership agreement with some friends, fellow content creators, where we kind of talk about the same things, but it's it's far more relaxed, far more kind of laddie, far more kind of just like in the moment, and that would ultimately take a lot of the energy requirements away from me. It'd be kind of shared responsibility, and it's very, I mean, this is just a concept in my head. Like I haven't even, we don't, like this does not exist as an actual tangible thing yet, but that's what I would like to do. And with that, it gives the ability to both kind of do it remotely, as we do with the Opie-Verse, but also opportunities to get together and do an in-person one, which ultimately would be the dream for me. Just sit around the table, drink some beers and chat shit about pop culture with people of same interests. So certainly look out for that. What it will also give me is time and energy to focus on where I can be active. And that is, on the most part, TikTok. TikTok this year is kind of, my TikTok is somewhat suffered. I have splurges where I give it some kind of extra attention, but I haven't kind of give it the attention that it needs. And then a bit of Instagram as well, just kind of those in between moments. A lot of my Instagram and TikTok content is duplicated, but I use my Instagram stories quite effectively at the best of times as well, which I haven't been doing recently as well, just to engage with my audience and followers. So bottom line, this is done. I've never really kind of cracked YouTube, so that is it really. I just feel like it's the right thing to put that down, cut off that limb, and allow the kind of the rest of my content to thrive and grow. The reality is I'm not trying to be a professional content creator. My job is very important to me. It pays me very well. I'm not trying to kind of get away from that. This will always just be a hobby and a bit of self-satisfaction for me. So I need to make sure that that is sustainable. And that's it basically. So again, for those watching, for those who have watched over time, for those of you who've been a part of this, for those of you supporting me, I thank you and hope that we continue to engage just through those other channels. It's weird because it feels like I'm kind of drawing a line and saying goodbye, but I'm not, because I know a lot of you, if not all of you, follow me on Instagram and or TikTok. So I'll speak to you soon anyway. But I just wanted to give an explanation. But once again, thank you, peace, love to all.